do not mind the disgusting looking nail beds. I'm gonna file them down. I'm not gonna soak them off. I haven't really found any like nail tips that are removable like I've seen on some other practice hands for this practice hand. So I kind of just deal with it like this. I don't really want to waste so much product and soak off the nails every single time that I want to do a new design. So I kind of just, rough it out. It's going to be at the bottom anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So please don't mind how gross the nail beds look. I'm using Cover Pink acrylic powder by Young Nails, and the monomer I'm using is also Young Nails. Also, just a quick disclaimer, I'm very new to the acrylic world. I'm using the 3-bead method. I found that works best for me. I'm still in the learning process, so please don't judge until you see the after, because trust the process. Also, you'll notice that on some of the nails, I used more than 3 beads, which is okay. There's no rule that says only use 1 bead or only use 3. Just make sure that you've covered the nail enough with the product, because the last thing you want is to not have enough when you get to the filing step. At this point, I don't know what happened in my brain, but I was like, let me speed up. I'm always trying to come up with ways to speed up my process, because that's something I'm very much still working on. So I was like, let me do the first bead on all the nails first. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I still don't know where I stand on that method. It was kind of a new thing I was trying, but that's what I'm doing right now, if you're wondering. I don't know if it's just me or if it's anybody else, but when I'm doing people's nails, I know that I should come up with a process that I stick to, but for some reason I start at the most random nail every single time. It's not like I don't have a specific order. I don't know why I do that. My brain is a mess, so maybe that's what's going on. When I started, I had the mentality of like, oh, it doesn't really matter what the nail looks like right now because, I'm going to file it. But as I really started practicing and trying to get the hang of it, I realized not only how much product I was wasting, but how much longer the filing process became. I'm talking by hours. I cut down my process for a set by at least an hour when I stopped doing this. So, pro tip, not even pro tip because I'm not a pro, but beginner tip to other beginners, work on perfecting your shape as you're building with the beads versus shaping with filing. That is like the hardest part. By the way, this beat is brought to you by yours truly, and if you like what you hear, here is my beat page, and here's the link to my main music account. You don't have to go check them out, but I would love it if you did. If you work in an environment like me where the temperature kind of varies, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's a little bit humid, the drying times for your acrylic are really going to change. Here's a helpful way to know exactly when the acrylic is fully dry and ready to file. Ready? Not ready. Remember, tap on the nail. If you hear the high-pitched click, it's ready to file. If it doesn't really make a sound and it sounds kind of muddy, do not file, because I ran into this problem so many times, and when you start filing a nail that is not fully dry, it starts peeling, and you are going to backtrack so many steps. You're going to have to do it all over again. Don't make the same mistakes that I did, so just make sure that you check when it's time to file. My phone died, so while it was charging, I finished shaping. So the rest of the shaping on the top part of the nail and the buffing was not filmed, so I'm so sorry about that. If you can invest in an airbrush, I recommend that you do, because it cuts time down by so much when you're doing things like ombres. It makes it perfect and seamless. I struggle personally to do ombres with acrylics, so this for me was a must. Here is the final result. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any tips, I'm obviously still a beginner, so I would appreciate that. Just leave that in the comments, and I'll see you next time.